Police, David Manning, has placed criminals on notice not to make misguided assumptions and break the law. The Commissioner's comments come after a high number of reported robbery attempts were made in Port Moresby recently. Commissioner Manning said police presence is higher than normal presently, with an increased number of police investigators and intelligence units on the ground, actively tracking criminal activities. He said this also includes the monitoring of the misuse of social media and communications platform to identify and sanction those who commit technological enable crimes that spread disharmony or incite acts of violence. The Commissioner called on members of the public to maintain peace and report any suspicious activities. Dr. Lino Tom, Minister for Health, delivered a powerful statement on behalf of 22 Pacific Island countries at the opening of the 77th World Health Assembly in Geneva. In his statement, Minister Tom warned that the very idea of health for all is under threat from climate change. Minister Tom urged delegates at the World Health Assembly to lead by example and address the environmental impact of the health sector, which is currently responsible for around 50% of greenhouse gas emission globally. The first relief supplies from the Australian government have left for Enga province. 2 Australian Air Force planes and the C-27 Spartan loaded the cargo this morning to bring aid to those heavily impacted by the landslide.
The Australian government will provide an initial $2.5 million in humanitarian assistance to support Papua New Guinea's response to the landslide in Enga province. In direct response to the government of Papua New Guinea's request, Australia will send technical experts to PNG to provide incident management assistance, support geohazard assessments, and to inform early recovery efforts. The first of relief supplies from the Australian government have left for Enga. 2 Australian Air Force planes and the C-27 Spartan loaded the cargo this morning to bring aid to those heavily affected by the landslide. In a media statement issued this morning, Minister for Defence Dr. Billy Joseph acknowledged the support of Australia in responding immediately to the tragic events of Saturday, 26 May. Minister Joseph said the landslide has a width of more than 300 meters and has blocked the main highway to Porgera mine. The remaining part of Mount Yambali, which collapsed, continues to slip, posing imminent risk to the safety of local communities, aid workers and relief workers. During their visit, the government, through the National Disaster Centre, presented a cheque of 500,000 kina for food and water supply and shelter. In addition, the PNG Defence Force Engineering, medical and security teams went to assist in rescue and rebuilding efforts. Australia is providing emergency relief supplies such as shelter, hygiene kits, and specific support for women and children. Many have expressed a deep sadness at the loss of lives in this disaster, including parliamentarians in this morning's parliament session. They offered support to fellow parliamentarian and governor for Enga, Sir Peter Ipatas. Sir Peter was at the ATW hangar this morning to see off the team that was taking the relief supplies to his people. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The National Fisheries Authority is spearheading the Taroma Plastic and Rubbish Catchment project aimed at protecting vital marine resources and mangrove ecosystems from pollution. This initiative, envisioned by former parliamentarian Michael Nally, is currently under construction and seeks to address the pressing issue of marine pollution affecting Tuna Bay and its surrounding mangrove habitats. Mangroves are essential for supporting diverse marine life, protecting coastlines from erosion and sequestering carbon dioxide. The NFA has been a strong advocate for the protection and restoration of these crucial ecosystems, emphasizing their importance for current and future generations. The Tauranga Plastic and Rubbish Catchment Project focuses on preventing plastics and rubbish from entering these sensitive environments through innovative waste management strategies, community engagement, and environmental education. The project aims to create a cleaner, healthier marine environment. 20 participants completing a 2-week training in Lae, Maraba Province, Papua New Guinea on Tamil processing instrumentation, auditing for competing authority officials and industry workers on canned tuna products and cooked frozen tuna lines. This initiative is part of Forum Fisheries Authority's ongoing commitment to build the capacity and competence of competent authority officers, ensuring they can effectively audit and regulate fish processing operations to meet EU standards. The training brought together participants from across the Pacific, encouraging stronger regional cooperation and knowledge sharing. In regional news, Queensland researchers are taking a new approach to treating Parkinson's disease by targeting the gut as well as brain. It's hoped this will show or even stop the progress of the illness.
Researchers are hoping to revolutionise the way we treat Parkinson's disease.
We're targeting for the first time the gut rather than the brain.
New technology has led scientists to find that the gut plays a role in advancing the disease.
The gut is increasingly being recognised as an important player in brain health in generally, so there's very strong links between gut and depression, for example. And depression is one of the earliest symptoms you see in Parkinson's.
Now funding from the US will give the Queensland team the chance to develop targeted treatments in an effort to slow or even stop the progression of the debilitating illness.
It's little things at the moment. The longer term things are the sort of knowing where I'm heading and knowing what sort of life I may be heading towards is something I don't want to think about too much.
Despite its growing prevalence, there isn't an effective treatment for Parkinson's. 50 Australians are diagnosed with Parkinson's every single day, but experts expect that figure to increase with known links to chemical exposures from industry and occupations such as farming, firefighting and the military.
It used to be a disease that occurs in people 65 and older, but because of the growing chemical exposures, we're seeing people diagnosed in their 40s and some even in their 30s.
An estimated 200,000 Australians have Parkinson's disease. It's hoped this new approach to treatment will help improve their quality of life.
With AI and everything else, things seem to be moving a lot quicker than what they were 10 years ago. So there's always hope.
A powerful new integrity commission will be able to recommend misbehaving MPs be expelled or suspended from state parliament. Premier Jacinta Allen has admitted that a new Parliamentary Integrity Commission is overdue after it was recommended by the state's corruption watchdogs 2 years ago. The new body will investigate bullying and harassment allegations against MPs following a string of high-profile cases.
Out bad behaviour, Parliament is finally cracking down on MPs' misconduct.
It's overdue.
Elected politicians fall outside workplace laws, so this new regime will mean MPs will be punished for bullying, sexual harassment and ripping off their entitlements.
What this is about is bringing the Parliament into the modern expectations of what a safe and respectful workplace should look like.
This government has been frequently rocked by MPs behaving badly. Darren Cheeseman was dumped from caucus following allegations of harassment of staff. Will Fowles was ejected from Labor over allegations of a serious sexual assault, which he denies. Adam Somyurek quit after he was caught running a branch stacking operation. And the former Speaker and his deputy were demoted for ripping off allowances.
I would like to see this actually go through the Parliament very smoothly. I don't think the public want to see MPs constantly fascinated by themselves.
We're very conscious of the origins of these changes, but we do want to work through the detail when we see the final version tomorrow.
3 independent commissioners will hear and investigate complaints and will be able to force an MP to apologise or undergo training. For For more serious misconduct, it can recommend that MPs be suspended, fined or even kicked out.
That can only be discharged on the floor of the Parliament.
It's really a very small part of the integrity jigsaw. This is really more about MP behaviour than about political integrity, and there's a lot more that we need to do in Victoria.
While Parliament is trying to change MPs' behaviour, the Premier is tackling an even bigger issue, appointing the first Parliamentary Secretary for men's behavioural change, due to the scourge of gendered violence and the growth of online toxic masculinity.
It can't be left to women to manage women's safety. It's boys and men and those attitudes and those norms and stereotypes that we need to break away from.
A job that will need plenty of resources.
In sports, the PNG men's cricket team Barramundis fought to the hand in a tight match, losing to Oman at the Brian Lara Stadium on Tuesday afternoon in the first official warm-up match of the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. Oman beat PNG by 3 wickets, Oman 7 for 1 for 1 and PNG 9 for 139. The Barras set a target of 137 of their 20 overs on the back of a solid start at 1 for 145 in the sixth over, led by an inning of 28 of 20 balls from Laga Sayaka, who ended up top scoring. The Barras started well with Naho scoring 2 early wickets, reducing Oman to 2 for 15 in the fourth over. Good spells from CJ Amini and Kabua Moria saw Oman at 7 for 1 for 4, needing 24 runs from the last 16 balls and then 22 runs from the last 2 overs. However, the Oman Till and battles hit out powerfully to the finish of the game in the final over for a close win. Barramundis' next warm-up match is against Namibia on Thursday. That's been the news update. Join us at 6 for more.